Princess Anne, I know she's representing the Queen.
She's incredibly hard-working. She knows exactly everything about her organisations.
Queen, she said, she should be Queen Consort. Now suddenly, she's now going to be Queen. And it's very difficult because a lot of people have told me they're unhappy about it, so I'm not surprised by the poll.
At a secluded Balmoral gathering, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Princess Anne, known for her bluntness, was no stranger to controversy. But what she said next would send ripples through the monarchy, shaking its very foundation. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Anne revealed a shocking truth that had been carefully guarded for years. Queen Elizabeth II never intended for Camilla to be queen. The confession hit like a thunderclap in a room already heavy with unspoken resentments. Though, weight of Anne's words couldn't be ignored. The late Queen, the steadfast pillar of the monarchy, had quietly preferred Princess Kate for the role of consort, seeing in her a grace and elegance that matched the royal expectations. Anne, however, had always been one to speak her mind, and this was not the first time she had challenged the norms of royal decorum. Her revelation, though, was a different matter altogether. She wasn't merely sharing a family secret. She was exposing a fracture that ran deep through the royal veins. As Anne spoke, a silence fell over the room. The implications were staggering. Anne's blunt honesty illuminated a stark truth. Camilla's reign had never been fully embraced by the royal family, not even by the Queen. It wasn't just a matter of preference, it was a matter of legitimacy. How could someone so fiercely opposed by the very people who upheld the monarchy rise to the highest position? Anne's words didn't just question Camilla's title, they threatened to unravel the entire royal narrative. For the first time, Camilla's place as queen felt like an unsolved puzzle, with more pieces missing than anyone cared to admit. But there was more to the story. The revelation didn't just expose Anne's feelings about Camilla. It was the spark that lit a fire of growing dissent within the palace. The very foundations of the monarchy, long thought to be unshakable, were starting to tremble. Anne's admission wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a broader narrative of power struggles and shifting alliances, where loyalty was in short supply. As whispers of discontent grew louder, those who had once quietly tolerated Camilla's rise began to speak out. The royal family was no longer the unified front the world had always seen. Its divisions were becoming more apparent, more dangerous. This moment at Balmoral set the stage for a power struggle that had been simmering for years, but had remained largely unspoken. Now, it was out in the open. The question remained, what would happen next? With Anne's candidness breaking the silence, the monarchy faced an uncertain future, one where the power of the crown was no longer guaranteed. Camilla's position had always been tenuous, but now it seemed as though even the palace's most loyal supporters were beginning to question whether she truly belonged at the helm. As whispers of dissent grew louder, the royal family's unity began to fracture. The carefully constructed image of a harmonious monarchy was beginning to crumble, revealing cracks that would be impossible to ignore. The storm had arrived, and it was one that threatened to reshape everything the British royal family had stood for. Behind the grand walls of Buckingham Palace, where every word is measured and every gesture calculated, a different reality plays out. Deals are struck in shadowed corners, and reputations some built over lifetimes are sacrificed on the altar of power. For King Charles, the weight of the crown was never just about tradition or duty. It was about survival, not only for himself, but for his vision of the monarchy. And to secure Camilla's place at his side, he had to make a choice that would reverberate through royal corridors for years to come. The scandal involving Prince Andrew had already done its damage. The whispers were growing louder, threatening to unravel the royal family's carefully constructed image of dignity and grace. Yet, it was in these whispers that Charles saw an opportunity, one that would require a delicate balance of strategy and sacrifice. Allegedly, Charles used Andrew's infamous ties to Jeffrey Epstein as leverage. With his brother's scandal hanging over the monarchy, Charles knew he needed his mother's backing for Camilla's queenship, and he was willing to make a deal that would change the course of royal history. Queen Elizabeth's agreement was not one of unconditional support. It was a calculated compromise. The Queen, ever the shrewd strategist, understood that the monarchy's survival depended not just on public approval, but on the image of unity it projected. Camilla, though long seen as a figure of controversy, had the potential to solidify Charles's reign. But at what cost? The personal sentiments of the royal family were irrelevant in the face of an image that needed to be maintained. In that moment, the monarchy's image was placed above all else, a decision that set the stage for a future marked by political maneuvering and hidden agendas. As Camilla's ascent to queenship was solidified, the public and the royal family were left to grapple with the implications. What had been sold in the shadows could not be undone in the light of day. Camilla's title was not simply a matter of marriage, it was a product of political negotiation, an act of survival in an institution where loyalty and family ties often played second fiddle to strategy. Behind the headlines and the official statements, the monarchy was changing in ways the public couldn't fully understand. Charles was no longer just a king by birthright, he was a monarch who had learned to play the game of power with ruthless precision. The more the world saw Camilla as queen, the more the cracks in the royal facade became visible. Her rise was marred by a history of scandal, her reputation a constant reminder of the sacrifices made to secure her place. But this was just the beginning. The monarchy's internal dynamics were far more complex than anyone outside its walls could ever imagine. As the public cheered and jeered, the family quietly continued to navigate the delicate balance between tradition and survival. With the crown secured, Camilla faced a new set of challenges that threatened to undo the very thing she had fought for. The political maneuvering that had once secured her place would now become the weapon used against her. The royal family's power struggles were far from over, and Camilla, despite her newfound title, was about to find out just how fragile her position was. While Camilla's queenship is questioned, Kate Middleton's star continues to ascend, a figure that the royal family, once skeptical, now rallies behind. From the moment Kate entered the royal spotlight, she was met with scrutiny. Her middle-class background, something so foreign to the royal family's long-established norms, immediately raised eyebrows. In those early years, Camilla, already navigating the complexities of her own rise, reportedly viewed Kate's relationship with William with suspicion. To Camilla, Kate was a symbol of a new era, an era where the old rules, the ones that had once served her, no longer seemed to apply. For someone so entrenched in royal tradition, the sight of a commoner capturing the heir to the throne was more than just uncomfortable, it was a threat. Yet, as time wore on, Kate's poise and grace began to speak louder than any of the whispers in the palace corridors. Despite the odds stacked against her, she never faltered. In fact, her calm, composed presence in the face of relentless media scrutiny made her more endearing to the public and more indispensable to the royal family. Queen Elizabeth, ever the shrewd observer of character, saw in Kate the qualities that would secure the monarchy's future. She was everything the monarchy needed, modern, relatable, yet undeniably regal. The admiration from the Queen, which began quietly in the early 2000s, soon grew into a more pronounced support, a quiet endorsement that spoke volumes. Kate wasn't just another royal figurehead, she was the future. For Camilla, however, Kate's rising influence was a reminder of the precariousness of her own position. While Camilla may have initially seen Kate as just a passing relationship, William's growing affection for her signaled something far more significant. As William and Kate's relationship deepened, so too did Kate's integration into royal life. She wasn't just seen as the future wife of a prince, she was becoming a symbol of something new, something the monarchy needed to adapt to in order to survive. The public adored Kate, and her elegance and dedication quickly won over even the harshest of critics. She wasn't trying to take Camilla's place, she was carving out her own. This growing favor wasn't lost on Camilla. The threat Kate posed wasn't about titles or direct confrontation. It was subtler. It was in the way the public saw Kate, someone who represented a shift in the monarchy, someone whose influence could surpass even her own. Kate's growing prominence in the royal family and her increasing role in royal duties hinted at the inevitable. The future of the monarchy lay in her hands. For someone who had fought tooth and nail to win acceptance, Camilla must have seen Kate as an inevitable rival, one whose rise could overshadow her own. As Kate embodies the future of the monarchy, Camilla grapples with her past. The foundations of the royal family are shifting. and Camilla is left to question her place in it all. What once seemed like an assured position is now a constant battle, not just against public perception, but against a new generation of royals that threaten to upend everything she's worked to secure. The monarchy is evolving, and whether she likes it or not, Camilla's past is beginning to catch up with her. Prince William and Prince Harry's relationship with Camilla is fraught with tension and unresolved issues that have simmered for years, bubbling beneath the surface of their public appearances. To the outside world, they may appear as a united front, but behind closed doors, the rift is clear, a deep chasm that neither brother seems willing to bridge. In Harry's memoir, Spare, he pulls back the curtain, revealing the raw, painful emotions that have festered for decades. He speaks with a brutal honesty about his resentment toward Camilla, a resentment that goes beyond the typical stepmother woes. For Harry, Camilla's presence in their lives was never just an inconvenience, it was a betrayal not only of their mother, Princess Diana, but of the sanctity of their family's personal history. The brothers, at different points in their lives, both made the same plea to their father: don't marry Camilla. The request was rooted not just in the personal grief of losing their mother, but in a deeply felt fear that Charles's marriage to Camilla would tarnish Diana's legacy and their own sense of family. The idea of Camilla becoming their stepmother was more than just a difficult adjustment. It was a fracture in their very understanding of family. And yet, despite their pleas, Charles proceeded, and the monarchy moved forward with a decision that would irreparably change the dynamics of their family. But it's not just the marriage itself that has caused the divide. Over the years, Camilla has faced numerous accusations, not least of which is her alleged involvement in leaking stories to the press. Rumors have swirled for years that Camilla used her connections within the media to bolster her public image, to shift the narrative in her favor. For Harry, these accusations, combined with his growing frustration with the palace's treatment of his mother's memory, only serve to widen the divide between him and Camilla. The idea that she may have been responsible for feeding the tabloids with stories that painted her in a more favorable light, all while his family's pain was being used as fodder for headlines, was a wound Harry could never fully heal. William, on the other hand, has always kept his emotions closer to his chest. His relationship with Camilla, though, is no less strained. While he may not have the same vocal resentment as Harry, the distance between them is palpable. William's role as the future king means that he must present a facade of unity, a royal duty that often forces him to hide his true feelings. Still, those who are close to the family know that William's interactions with Camilla are formal at best. The warmth between them never fully materialized, and in the years following Diana's death, William has remained polite but distant, carrying with him the weight of his mother's legacy, and with it, a certain disdain for the woman who took her place. The brothers' differing paths reflect their complex feelings about their stepmother. For Harry, the wounds are still fresh, exacerbated by a distance that only time can deepen. For William, the wounds are more restrained, but no less impactful. It's a dynamic shaped by loyalty, love, and the echoes of a past that neither brother can escape. While both have learned to navigate the public world of royal duties, they each carry a private burden that defines their relationship with Camilla in profoundly different ways. The familial discord extends beyond the brothers, influencing other royal relationships as well. As tensions rise within the direct family, the ripple effects are felt throughout the palace. The monarchy is built on unity, but behind the scenes, the fractures are impossible to ignore. The echoes of betrayal, of secrets long buried, continue to haunt those who are caught in the struggle for a future that no one can fully control. Long before Camilla ever wore the crown, before she became the queen consort of the United Kingdom, there existed a complex, tangled history between her and Princess Anne, one that few truly understand, even today. In the 1970s, both women were linked to Andrew Parker Bowles, a man whose presence in their lives would forever change the trajectory of their royal stories. Anne's connection with Andrew was the kind of youthful romance that seemed to hold great promise. However, as time passed, their relationship faltered, marked by personal and royal pressures. But Andrew's story didn't end with Anne. His heart, it seemed, had already turned to someone else. When Andrew married Camilla in 1973, it wasn't just a love story for him. It was the moment that began to shift the royal dynamics forever. Anne was left behind, and in the wake of that marriage, a subtle bitterness began to grow, one that would never truly fade. The rivalry between Anne and Camilla wasn't loud or openly dramatic. It was something far more insidious. It was a quiet tension that simmered beneath every royal appearance, every royal event. Anne, ever the stoic and fiercely independent figure, wasn't about to forget the slight that had been dealt to her in the form of Andrew's decision. Perhaps more telling than any personal grudge, however, was Queen Elizabeth's decision to ensure that Princess Anne would never have to curtsy to Camilla. It was a simple yet powerful act, one that spoke volumes. In the context of the royal family, the curtsy is more than just a gesture of respect. It is a symbol of hierarchy, of who stands above and who remains below. Anne's refusal to bow to Camilla wasn't just personal, it was political. An unspoken declaration of her place within the royal fold. And Camilla, for all her efforts to integrate into the royal family, was always going to be held at arm's length by Anne, no matter the titles or ceremonies that came her way. Their interactions over the years have always been marked by this subtle rivalry. There are no explosive arguments or public confrontations, but the tension between Anne and Camilla is undeniable. Every smile exchanged at public appearances, every polite word spoken feels hollow, as if beneath the surface, the ghosts of the past still linger. It's a rivalry that can't be erased with time or public appearances, one that is as entrenched in their shared history as the monarchy itself. Yet, recent public appearances have shown a new, perhaps unexpected dynamic. At times, Anne and Camilla have appeared together, even offering a facade of unity, with public smiles and gestures of diplomacy. But those who know the royal family understand that these moments are merely a mask, a carefully constructed veneer to maintain the illusion of harmony. The public image of unity is one thing, but the private history, the shared past, is something else entirely. As personal histories resurface and old wounds remain raw, the royal family's carefully curated image is beginning to face new challenges. The fractures within the family, long hidden beneath the surface, are becoming harder to conceal. What happens when the personal and the public collide? When the stories of betrayal and rivalry are brought to light? This question looms large as the monarchy navigates an uncertain future, one where past tensions threaten to reshape its present and future. Princess Anne has long been the unsung hero of the royal family, a steadfast pillar who has weathered the storms of public scrutiny, family drama, and the shifting tides of royal politics. While others may have sought the spotlight, Anne's dedication to her royal duties has earned her a deep respect that is often overshadowed by the louder voices of her more prominent family members. Yet it is in the quiet moments of service, in the subtle gestures of loyalty, that Anne's true power lies. Her unwavering commitment to her family and her role within the monarchy has positioned her as a key figure in the royal machine, a constant that ensures the stability of an institution in constant flux. Her loyalty is not just to the crown, it is to her mother, Queen Elizabeth II, whose legacy Anne has always sought to uphold. While the monarchy has been rocked by scandals and shifting allegiances, Anne has remained an unwavering defender of her mother's values and vision. As the royal family navigates its internal conflicts, Anne often steps into the role of mediator, calming tensions and smoothing over rifts that might otherwise tear the family apart. It's a role that, while often invisible to the public eye, is crucial to maintaining the monarchy's facade of unity. Anne understands that her strength lies not in grand declarations, but in the quiet power of resolution and compromise. Her loyalty to her mother is perhaps most evident in her stance on Camilla's role within the royal family. While others might publicly embrace the new queen consort, Anne's feelings have always been more complex. Her respect for her mother's wishes, especially those regarding Camilla, has shaped her approach to the situation. Anne's actions often reflect a deep, quiet resistance, a reminder that not all members of the royal family share the same view of the monarchy's future. But despite any personal reservations, Anne has always kept her opinions close, choosing to uphold the integrity of the monarchy rather than stoking division. Her duty to her family, to her mother's legacy, and to the institution itself has made her a steadfast ally in moments of crisis, even if it means putting aside personal grievances for the greater good. Anne's influence within the royal family continues to grow as she carefully navigates the ever-evolving dynamics of the monarchy. As the younger generation steps into leadership roles, Anne remains an essential voice of wisdom and stability. She has seen the monarchy through its darkest days and its brightest triumphs, and her perspective on its future is one rooted in a deep understanding of its history. With each passing year, her role as the Queen's confidant becomes more significant, as her ability to act as a stabilizing force within the family becomes ever more crucial. As the monarchy faces internal upheaval and challenges to its relevance, Anne's steady presence is a reminder that true power often lies in restraint and unwavering loyalty. While others may seek to rewrite history or claim the spotlight, Anne remains focused on preserving the legacy of her family, a legacy that has withstood the test of time. With her unshakable dedication, she stands as a guardian of the monarchy's integrity, ensuring that the institution remains true to its purpose no matter what lies ahead. As the monarchy evolves, public opinion has become a powerful force shaping its future, a force that cannot be ignored. The royal family, once an institution shrouded in tradition and mystery, now faces the harsh glare of modern media and public scrutiny. And no member of the royal family feels the weight of this more than Camilla. Despite her long-standing relationship with King Charles, her past continues to haunt her, casting a shadow over her role as queen consort. The public's perception of her has been shaped by decades of scandal, from the affair that destroyed Charles and Diana's marriage to her later public persona. While she may have won the affection of her husband, Camilla's struggle to gain the public's acceptance remains a constant battle, one that she has yet to truly overcome. In stark contrast, Kate Middleton's relatability and modern approach to royal life resonate deeply with the public. From her early days as Prince William's girlfriend, she has carefully crafted an image of grace and approachability. Unlike the more distant, traditional figures of the royal family, Kate has embraced the changing world around her. Her initiatives focus on mental health, children's welfare, and societal issues, positioning her as not just a future queen consort, but a modern royal who understands the pulse of the nation. Her ability to connect with the public has earned her a level of admiration and affection that many members of the royal family envy. It's clear, Kate represents a new era, one that the monarchy desperately needs if it is to maintain its relevance. But the monarchy's image is not shaped by any single royal figure alone. The media, with its ever-present influence, plays a pivotal role in framing how the public perceives each family member. Media narratives shape opinions, sometimes for better, often for worse. The constant churn of headlines, both flattering and disparaging, has molded the public's view of everyone from King Charles to Prince Harry. The royal family has long relied on a carefully curated public image, but the age of social media and instant news cycles has made that more difficult than ever. What was once hidden behind palace walls is now a topic of daily public discussion, and in many ways, the media holds the keys to the monarchy's survival. The monarchy's relevance today hinges on its ability to adapt and connect with the public. The institution that once commanded unchallenged respect now faces challenges it has never encountered before. A generation that values authenticity, transparency, and connection over tradition and ceremony. The monarchy can no longer afford to rest on its laurels. It must evolve or risk becoming a relic of a bygone era. The public's role in legitimizing royal authority has never been more critical. As Britain and the world grapple with the changing political and social landscape, the monarchy must prove that it still holds value in a modern world, where tradition alone no longer guarantees reverence. As the royal family confronts modern challenges, it is clear that its members must redefine their roles. The winds of change are blowing through the palace halls, and how the royal family responds will determine its future. Can they embrace the changing tide and remain relevant? Or will they be swept away by the very forces that once made them so powerful? This battle for the crown's image is far from over, and its outcome will shape the monarchy for generations to come. With shifting alliances and evolving roles, the British monarchy stands at a crossroads, teetering between tradition and the future. The once unshakable institution now faces challenges that were once unimaginable, and its survival hinges on the delicate balance of maintaining royal heritage while embracing modernity. Princess Anne, steadfast in her loyalty to the monarchy, has increasingly become a silent yet powerful force behind the scenes. Her influence, subtle yet profound, may shape future royal protocols, particularly as the monarchy navigates the complexities of a world that demands change. Anne, though not always in the spotlight, has become a stabilizing presence, offering a sense of continuity in an ever-evolving royal landscape. As she has proven time and again, her role is not one of loud declarations, but of quiet, effective leadership, a steady hand in a time of uncertainty. Meanwhile, Kate Middleton, whose position within the family was once met with skepticism, has become the embodiment of a modern royal. Her relatability, her focus on mental health, children's welfare, and social causes has resonated deeply with the public. Kate's role as a modern royal model continues to expand as she navigates the shifting expectations of a younger generation. Her ability to balance tradition with progress makes her a figure who not only fits the role, but seems to redefine it. In a monarchy that has always been bound by tradition, Kate's natural poise and engagement with the public represent a new kind of royalty, one that values connection and empathy over formality. Her influence grows stronger with every public appearance, every cause she champions. But while Kate represents the future, Camilla's position remains under scrutiny. The Queen Consort has faced years of public resistance, much of it rooted in her past. Though she has worked hard to earn a place within the royal fold, her journey is far from complete. The changing dynamics within the monarchy, from shifting public opinion to new alliances, challenge her position in ways that can't be ignored. As Camilla continues to navigate these complex waters, her future is uncertain, and the royal family's handling of her role may very well determine the monarchy's place in the future. It's not just the older generation that must adapt, though. The younger royals, William, Kate, and their children represent the future of the monarchy, and their approach may redefine royal traditions for decades to come. Their willingness to engage with modern issues, their openness in dealing with mental health, and their desire to connect with the people make them more than just figurehead roles. They are changing the monarchy from within. But the question remains, will the royal family's centuries-old traditions be able to withstand such transformation, or will they be swept away by the winds of change? The monarchy's survival depends on its ability to balance heritage with progress, to evolve while still holding on to the values that have made it an institution for over 1,000 years. In this new era, adaptability is key. The monarchy's future will be shaped not just by its storied past, but by the actions and adaptability of its key figures, the ones who can navigate the ever-changing tides of public opinion and guide the monarchy through the complexities of the modern world. As the British monarchy faces both internal complexities and external expectations, its fate lies in the hands of those who understand that the future is as important as the past. What comes next will depend on the royal family's ability to move forward without forgetting where they came from. Will they succeed, or will history mark this as the end of the monarchy as we know it? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.